High Noon by Marka Rifat. Howdy, partner. Howdy, Dan. They tipped back their Stetsons and gazed sternly into the distance. Any action on the High Sierra? Nay, that nobody was, nope. I was scouting on the ridge after breakfast, and there were nae loose deer north or south, Danny. A head of cattle's gotta be somewhere, Connor, and rustling's a dirty business. Them dang rustlers will get what's coming to them. Oh, yes, sirree. I'll make sure of that today, Dan. The two cowboys nodded with grim conviction. It was going to be a tough day, but they would face down those ornery, no-good desperados, and they would beat them. Connor silently passed a treacle toffee to Danny. It was the closest to chewing tobacco Connor could find in Uncle Dod's sweetie tin. And the whole gang agreed it was brilliant for making black spitballs. It was important to impress the gang. Reckon we need some sarsaparilla. Sun's getting high in the sky. They set off for the Dry Gulch Saloon, known to others as McNabb's Shop and Save. Their progress slowed by practicing their swagger and testing out their quick draw techniques. Cans of cola in their pockets, they negotiated the single carriageway of Skull River Pass, daringly crossing while the green man was flashing, and avoided a tribe of marauding Sioux warriors in the guise of shrieking girls from the high school returning from their swimming lesson. They paused outside the Thistle Tavern and crouched close to the ground. These are fresh today, Connor. Darn tootin'! Looks like the left-hand gang, maybe 12 of them varmints. The boys recounted the cigarette stubs on the pavement. Yup, reckon a good 12, and he ain't gonna get far. They reached the swings and climbing frame of Cowhide City and joined the gang. Connor chaired out the treacle toffees, then tactics, weaponry and terrain were discussed. The ceremonial handover had just begun when Connor was hauled backwards by a meaty hand clamped onto the back of his collar. We've been ambushed! He wriggled to face the dang blasted enemy who dared to sneak up on his big day. The hand belonged to his mother. She was breathing fast and redder than the prairie sunset. Oh, Connor, Christ! I've been looking for you everywhere. You cannot just buckle off. The social wife is coming this morning. She's got to see both of us. She winced, pressed her free hand into the folds of fat over her ribs, and pushed her face into his. He smelt beer. Oh, Christ, you give me a seizure. She hauled herself upright. She glared at the little boys in their checked shirts and cardboard hats. Oh, piss off, you wee nutters. She yanked him by his skinny arm back in the direction of their flat. Oh, but Ma, I cannot go back yet. It's my big day. Oh, please. I've waited ages. Oh, please, dinna make me. She was wheezing by the time they reached the Thistle and sat heavily on a beer crate by the back door. Connor glowered and swayed with rage. Bubbles of snot covered his top lip. He drew his coat from the elasticated waistband of his jeans and aimed it between her eyes. The late morning light caught the peeling silver paint on the gun barrel. Wait! It's my turn for sheriff today. Oh, I waited ages for my turn. It's nearly high noon and I'm in charge of rounding up the rustlers and leading the shootouts and everything. I've worked it all She looked at his fierce little face and for once didn't see his bastard father, another misery he'd brought, but a boy who could maybe have a chance to make something of his life. And she started to cry. Connor kept his gun trained on her. Then she mumbled, "Sorry," and opened her arms. The smokers who had been watching the scene turned away and Connor bent down. She cried into his shoulder and squeezed him tight. "Oh, it's okay, Ma. Stop bleeding." Eventually she stopped. She wiped her face on her sleeve and sighed. "Are you really in charge today, the big boss?" Connor looked through the grubby windows of the Thistle to the clock over the bar. "Not anymore. It's 12:05. I've missed my turn." He reholstered his Colt and adjusted his Stetson. "Oh, come on, cowboy. The social welfare will be chopping at the door." They walked in silence to the corner of their road. The family support worker's car was parked outside their block. She patted his bony shoulder. "Oh, I'm sorry about your big day, son. You'll be a sheriff the next time." He shook his head. "You have to wait your turn. That's how it goes." "But what if you were kidnapped by, you can what's it, Comanches?" "Well, maybe if they tied me up and tortured me for days and days." The family support worker was standing on the pavement, tapping her watch. "We'll see Mrs. Ironbricks first, Connor. Then we'll plan your escape from the Indians." Connor was already standing proud in the dusty main street of Cowhide City, the townsfolk clapping and the six-pointed star of authority blazing on his chest in the noonday sun.